Drinking baking soda the right way can dramatically improve circulation and restore intimacy after 60, but most men are doing it completely wrong. I'm Dr. Grace Miller, and after 25 years helping patients reclaim their vitality, I've seen this simple kitchen ingredient transform lives when used correctly. Yet the first mistake men make could actually harm their health. The first mistake I see men make is taking baking soda at night, thinking it will work while they sleep. This timing couldn't be more wrong, and it's sabotaging the very benefits they're seeking. Many men come to me frustrated because they've been diligently taking their baking soda before bed, believing their body will use those quiet hours to heal and restore circulation. What they don't realize is that they're working against their body's natural rhythm, not with it. Your body's pH naturally fluctuates throughout a 24-hour cycle. During sleep, your system becomes more alkaline as cellular repair processes take over. By morning, after hours of fasting and cellular cleanup, your blood becomes more acidic. This is exactly when your body needs alkalizing support most. Taking baking soda at night, when your pH is already shifting alkaline, creates an imbalance that your kidneys have to work overtime to correct. The physical consequences of this timing mistake are significant. When you alkalize at the wrong time, your body struggles to maintain proper electrolyte balance. You may experience disturbed sleep, morning grogginess, or even digestive discomfort. More importantly, the circulation benefits you're seeking become minimal because you're not addressing your body's actual pH needs. Emotionally, this leads to discouragement. Men tell me they feel like nothing works for them anymore, that their body has given up responding to natural remedies. The truth is, their body is responding exactly as it should to poor timing. The solution is simple but critical. Take your baking soda first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, when your body is naturally more acidic and primed to benefit from alkalizing support. This timing aligns with your circadian rhythm and maximizes the circulation benefits you're seeking. But timing isn't the only factor that determines success. The second mistake involves the type of baking soda you choose, and this oversight can introduce toxins that completely undermine your health goals. Here's the shocking truth most men don't know. Not all baking soda is created equal, and the wrong type can actually introduce harmful toxins into your system while blocking the very circulation benefits you're trying to achieve. Walk into any grocery store and you'll find baking soda in multiple sections, some near the cleaning supplies, others with baking ingredients, and some marketed specifically for medicinal use. This variety creates dangerous confusion. I regularly encounter men who've been unknowingly consuming industrial-grade baking soda or products contaminated with aluminum compounds, wondering why their energy continues to decline despite their efforts. The critical difference lies in purity and processing standards. Food-grade baking soda undergoes strict quality controls to ensure it's safe for internal consumption. Industrial or cleaning-grade versions may contain aluminum compounds, anti-caking agents, or other chemical additives that have no business in your bloodstream. These contaminants don't just fail to support circulation, they actively work against it. Aluminum accumulation in the body has been linked to inflammation, particularly in blood vessel walls. When you're trying to improve circulation, introducing inflammatory compounds creates a direct contradiction. Your arteries need to relax and expand, but aluminum-containing products promote the exact opposite response: vessel constriction and increased inflammatory markers. The physical consequences extend beyond poor circulation. Men consuming contaminated baking soda often report persistent headaches, digestive upset, and a metallic taste that lingers throughout the day. Their bodies are literally fighting against the toxins they're introducing while trying to heal. Emotionally, this creates a cruel cycle of false hope, followed by disappointment. These men are doing everything right in terms of timing and consistency, yet seeing minimal results. They begin to doubt whether natural approaches work at all, often abandoning beneficial practices entirely. The solution requires careful product selection. Always choose pure, food-grade sodium bicarbonate from reputable manufacturers. Look for products specifically labeled USP grade or pharmaceutical grade when available. Avoid any baking soda that doesn't clearly state it's aluminum-free and suitable for consumption. Even with the right product, there's another critical error that can completely negate your efforts, and it involves how much you're taking each time. When it comes to baking soda dosage, I've observed a dangerous pattern. Men either take far too much, believing more equals faster results, or take so little that they see no benefits at all. Both extremes can derail your circulation goals entirely. Research from clinical studies reveals that sodium bicarbonate follows a precise therapeutic window. Below this threshold, you won't achieve the pH balancing effects needed for improved blood flow. Above it, you risk serious complications that can actually worsen circulation and create new health problems. The more is better mentality proves particularly hazardous with baking soda. Each teaspoon contains nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half the daily recommended limit in a single dose. When men take a full teaspoon or more, thinking they'll accelerate their results, they're flooding their system with excessive sodium that forces their kidneys and cardiovascular system into overdrive. The immediate physical consequences of overdosing include rapid blood pressure elevation, which directly contradicts the circulation improvements you're seeking. Your blood vessels constrict rather than relax, creating the opposite effect of what you want. Additionally, excessive alkalinity can trigger severe stomach cramping, nausea, and electrolyte imbalances that leave you feeling worse than when you started. On the opposite end, taking insufficient amounts, perhaps just a pinch mixed in water, fails to create any meaningful pH shift in your bloodstream. Your body's natural buffering systems easily neutralize such small quantities before they can influence circulation patterns. The emotional toll of incorrect dosing creates frustration and confusion. Men who overdose often experience frightening symptoms that make them abandon the practice entirely, while those taking inadequate amounts conclude that natural approaches simply don't work for their bodies. The solution requires precision. Exactly 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda dissolved in 8 ounces of room temperature water. This provides approximately 325 milligrams of sodium, enough to create therapeutic alkalizing effects without overwhelming your system's natural balance mechanisms. Use a proper measuring spoon, not estimations, as even small variations can significantly impact results. However, even perfect dosing becomes meaningless if you're making the next critical error, taking it too frequently without giving your body essential recovery time. Daily baking soda consumption represents one of the most counterproductive mistakes I witness, yet it stems from a well-intentioned belief that consistency means taking it every single day without exception. The human body operates on adaptive mechanisms that respond to intermittent stimulation far more effectively than constant exposure. When you consume baking soda daily, your kidneys and buffering systems begin compensating for the regular alkaline input by increasing acid production and altering electrolyte processing. Within weeks, your body essentially neutralizes the benefits you're trying to achieve. Think of it like exercise. Constant daily stress on muscles without recovery leads to breakdown rather than strengthening. Your internal pH regulation system needs similar recovery periods to maintain sensitivity to alkalizing interventions. Without these breaks, your body develops what physiologists call alkaline tolerance, where the same dose produces progressively weaker effects. A comprehensive analysis of electrolyte balance studies shows that daily sodium bicarbonate intake disrupts the delicate interplay between sodium, potassium, and chloride levels in your bloodstream. This disruption forces your cardiovascular system to work harder to maintain proper fluid balance, directly opposing the circulation improvements you're seeking. The physical manifestations of daily overuse often surprise men who expect steady improvement. Instead, they experience irregular heartbeat patterns, persistent swelling in hands and feet, and paradoxical increases in blood pressure. Their circulation actually becomes more sluggish as their body fights against chronic electrolyte imbalance. From an emotional standpoint, daily users frequently report initial optimism followed by crushing disappointment when benefits plateau or reverse after several weeks. They increase their dose or frequency, creating a dangerous cycle that moves them further from their goals rather than closer. The optimal approach involves strategic scheduling, 3 to 4 times per week, with at least one full day between doses. This pattern allows your body's natural pH regulation system to reset while maintaining consistent alkalizing support. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday creates an ideal rhythm that maximizes benefits while preventing adaptation. Yet even perfect timing and frequency can be undermined by another common oversight. The liquid you choose to mix with your baking soda can completely alter its effectiveness. A surprisingly common mistake involves mixing baking soda with whatever beverage happens to be convenient, coffee, orange juice, or other flavored drinks, completely destroying its therapeutic potential before it even reaches your bloodstream. I frequently hear from men who report zero improvement despite weeks of consistent use, only to discover they've been stirring their baking soda into their morning coffee or citrus juice. This approach seems logical. Why not make it taste better or combine it with your existing routine? Unfortunately, basic chemistry makes this combination not just ineffective, but potentially harmful. Coffee's natural acidity, with a pH around 5, immediately neutralizes sodium bicarbonate's alkalizing properties through a chemical reaction that produces carbon dioxide, water, and sodium compounds that offer no circulation benefits. Similarly, citrus juices create vigorous fizzing reactions that break down the baking soda into inactive byproducts before absorption can occur. The science behind these interactions reveals why liquid choice matters so critically. Sodium bicarbonate requires a neutral to slightly alkaline environment to maintain its molecular structure during absorption. When mixed with acidic beverages, it undergoes immediate neutralization, transforming into harmless but therapeutically useless compounds that pass through your digestive system without affecting blood pH or circulation. Temperature also plays a crucial role that most men overlook. Hot liquids accelerate the breakdown of sodium bicarbonate, while ice-cold beverages can slow absorption in your digestive tract. Room temperature water provides the optimal environment for maintaining molecular stability and ensuring efficient absorption into your bloodstream. The physical consequences of wrong liquid combinations often manifest as excessive burping, stomach bloating, and digestive discomfort, your body's response to the gas-producing chemical reactions occurring in your stomach. More significantly, you receive none of the circulation benefits because the active compound has been neutralized before it can work. Emotionally, this mistake creates particularly frustrating outcomes because these men are following dosing and timing protocols perfectly, yet experiencing no improvements in energy, circulation, or intimacy. They often conclude that their bodies are resistant to natural interventions when the real issue is basic chemistry. The solution is straightforward. Use only room temperature, plain water, 8 ounces per quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Stir gently until completely dissolved, then drink immediately before the mixture can interact with air or other substances. However, even perfect liquid choice becomes irrelevant if you're making the next critical timing error regarding food and medication interactions. The convenience of taking baking soda with meals or medications creates a deceptively dangerous problem that can completely negate circulation benefits while potentially creating serious health complications. Statistical evidence from gastroenterology research demonstrates that stomach acid plays essential roles beyond simple digestion. It activates enzymes, facilitates nutrient absorption, and creates the acidic environment necessary for breaking down proteins and minerals your cardiovascular system needs for optimal function. When men consume baking soda alongside food, they're essentially turning off their digestive system's most critical function. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid specifically timed to food intake, reaching peak acidity within 30 minutes of eating. Introducing sodium bicarbonate during this process neutralizes the acid your body worked to produce, leaving food partially digested and nutrients poorly absorbed. This is particularly problematic for minerals like magnesium and potassium that directly support healthy blood pressure and circulation. The medication interaction aspect proves even more concerning. Many common prescriptions rely on stomach acidity for proper absorption and activation. Blood pressure medications in particular can become either dangerously concentrated or completely ineffective when stomach pH is artificially altered. The timing of baking soda consumption can literally determine whether your prescribed medications help or harm you. Physical consequences of meal timing errors include chronic indigestion, nutrient deficiencies that worsen circulation problems, and unpredictable medication effects that can cause dangerous blood pressure fluctuations. Men often report feeling bloated and uncomfortable after meals, not realizing they've disrupted their body's natural digestive rhythm. The emotional impact centers around confusion and discouragement. These men follow perfect protocols for baking soda consumption, but experience worsening energy levels and digestive problems. They begin to question whether their bodies can handle any natural interventions, often abandoning beneficial practices entirely due to unrecognized timing conflicts. The solution requires strict separation. Consume baking soda only on a completely empty stomach, at least 2 hours after eating and 1 hour before your next meal. If you take medications, consult with your prescribing physician about timing to avoid dangerous interactions. Yet, even perfect timing protocols cannot protect you from the next critical oversight, one that could turn this beneficial practice into a serious health threat based on your individual medical history. The most dangerous mistake involves men with existing health conditions who assume baking soda is universally safe because it's natural, ignoring how their individual medical circumstances can transform a helpful remedy into a serious health threat. Emergency room data reveals alarming trends of men over 60 experiencing hypertensive crises directly linked to unsupervised sodium bicarbonate use. These cases typically involve individuals with undiagnosed kidney dysfunction, existing cardiovascular disease, or sodium-sensitive hypertension who viewed baking soda as a harmless kitchen remedy rather than a substance that significantly impacts their body's delicate physiological balance. Kidney function naturally declines with age, often without obvious symptoms, until the damage becomes severe. When kidneys cannot efficiently process excess sodium, even the modest amount in a quarter teaspoon of baking soda can trigger dangerous fluid retention and blood pressure spikes. Men with compromised kidney function may retain sodium for days rather than hours, creating cumulative effects that compound with each dose. The cardiovascular implications prove equally serious. Individuals with heart failure, coronary artery disease, or pre-existing hypertension operate within narrow margins of safety regarding sodium intake. The additional sodium load from regular baking soda consumption can overwhelm their cardiovascular system's compensatory mechanisms, leading to dangerous blood pressure elevations, irregular heart rhythms, or fluid accumulation in the lungs. Physical consequences can escalate rapidly from subtle warning signs to medical emergencies. Early symptoms include persistent headaches, unusual fatigue, swelling in extremities, and changes in urination patterns. Without intervention, these can progress to severe hypertension, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or confused mental states requiring immediate medical attention. The emotional toll on these men and their families can be devastating. What began as a proactive attempt to improve their health becomes a source of fear and medical complications. They may lose confidence in all natural approaches, viewing their bodies as too fragile for any self-directed interventions. The solution requires honest medical evaluation before beginning any baking soda regimen. Essential assessments include kidney function tests, comprehensive metabolic panels, and cardiovascular evaluation, particularly for men with diabetes, hypertension, or heart disease. Your physician can determine whether baking soda use is appropriate for your specific health profile and establish monitoring protocols if approved. This critical safety consideration leads us to another common pitfall that undermines even medically cleared individuals: unrealistic expectations about how quickly results should appear. Unrealistic expectations about immediate results create one of the most self-defeating patterns I observe, where men abandon an effective approach just days before it would begin showing meaningful benefits. Our culture's instant gratification mindset collides harshly with the biological reality of circulation improvement. Men accustomed to quick fixes, whether from medications, supplements, or surgical interventions, often expect baking soda to produce noticeable changes within hours or days. This expectation sets them up for inevitable disappointment and premature abandonment of a practice that could genuinely transform their health. Vascular physiology research demonstrates that meaningful circulation improvements follow predictable timelines based on cellular regeneration cycles. Blood vessel walls require approximately 7 to 10 days to respond to pH changes by beginning to relax constricted smooth muscle. Endothelial cells that line arteries need 14-21 days to increase nitric oxide production significantly. Complete circulation enhancement, including improved blood flow to extremities and organs, typically requires 4-6 weeks of consistent support. The biochemical processes underlying these improvements cannot be rushed. Your body must first neutralize accumulated acidic waste products in blood vessel walls, then gradually restore optimal pH balance in interstitial fluids surrounding cells. Only after this foundation is established can the more dramatic improvements in energy, mental clarity, and intimacy begin to manifest. A common complaint I hear involves men who try baking soda for 3 to 5 days, notice no dramatic changes, then conclude it doesn't work for their particular situation. They often increase the dose dramatically or switch to multiple interventions simultaneously, creating confusion about what's actually effective. The emotional impact of unrealistic expectations extends beyond simple disappointment. Men who expect rapid transformation often interpret normal adjustment periods as personal failure or evidence that their bodies are beyond help. This mindset creates stress and anxiety that actually impede the very circulation improvements they're seeking. The solution involves recalibrating expectations based on physiological reality. Subtle improvements in morning energy and mental clarity may appear within the first week. Modest improvements in physical stamina and circulation typically emerge during weeks 2-3. Significant changes in overall vitality, circulation, and intimacy generally require 4 to 6 weeks of consistent, proper use. Understanding these timelines helps maintain motivation during the critical early weeks when benefits are building internally, but not yet obvious externally. However, even men with realistic expectations can sabotage their progress through the next oversight, failing to monitor their body's individual response patterns. The failure to monitor your body's individual response to baking soda represents a critical oversight that can allow minor issues to escalate into serious complications while missing opportunities to optimize your approach for maximum benefit. Individual biochemical variation means that identical doses and protocols can produce dramatically different responses across different men. Genetic factors affecting sodium processing, kidney function efficiency, and cardiovascular sensitivity create unique response patterns that require personalized attention. What works perfectly for one person may be excessive or insufficient for another, making self-monitoring essential for both safety and effectiveness. Pharmacokinetic studies reveal that sodium sensitivity varies by as much as 300% between individuals of similar age and health status. Some men process and eliminate excess sodium within hours, while others retain it for days. These variations directly impact how baking soda affects blood pressure, fluid balance, and circulation improvement timelines. Early warning signs often manifest subtly before becoming obvious problems. Mild headaches, slight changes in urination frequency, minor swelling in hands or feet, or unusual fatigue can indicate that your current protocol needs adjustment. These signals represent your body's attempt to communicate its limits and preferences, not necessarily reasons to discontinue the practice entirely. Many men dismiss these early indicators, attributing them to aging, stress, or unrelated factors. This oversight allows manageable adjustments to become serious complications. Others become hypervigilant about every minor sensation, creating anxiety that undermines the stress reduction benefits they're seeking from improved circulation. The physical consequences of inadequate monitoring range from missed optimization opportunities to dangerous complications. Men who don't track their responses may continue ineffective protocols for months or unknowingly push their systems toward electrolyte imbalances that require medical intervention. Emotionally, the lack of systematic monitoring creates uncertainty and anxiety about whether the approach is working or causing harm. Men often alternate between overconfidence and excessive worry, neither of which supports the consistent, mindful practice needed for optimal results. The solution involves establishing simple but systematic self-monitoring practices. Track your morning energy levels, sleep quality, urination patterns, and any physical sensations on a basic scale. Note the timing and frequency of your baking soda consumption alongside these observations. Weekly blood pressure checks, if you have access to a monitor, provide valuable objective data about your cardiovascular response. This systematic approach allows you to identify your optimal dose, frequency, and timing while catching potential issues early enough for simple adjustments rather than complete discontinuation. However, even perfect monitoring cannot compensate for the final and perhaps most limiting mistake: treating baking soda as a standalone solution rather than part of a comprehensive approach to circulation and vitality. The final and perhaps most limiting mistake involves treating baking soda as a magic bullet solution while ignoring the fundamental lifestyle factors that either support or undermine circulation health, creating a ceiling on potential benefits that no single intervention can break through. Cardiovascular research consistently demonstrates that circulation improvements require multiple, synergistic interventions addressing the complex web of factors that influence blood flow. While baking soda can effectively support pH balance and vessel relaxation, it cannot compensate for chronic dehydration, sedentary behavior, poor sleep quality, chronic stress, or nutritional deficiencies that directly sabotage circulation at the cellular level. The men who achieve the most dramatic and lasting improvements combine proper baking soda protocols with complementary practices that address circulation from multiple angles. This includes adequate hydration to support blood volume, regular movement to stimulate blood flow, quality sleep for vessel repair, stress management to prevent vessel constriction, and targeted nutrition to provide the raw materials for healthy circulation. Consider the interconnected nature of these systems. Baking soda may help relax blood vessels, but if you're chronically dehydrated, there's insufficient blood volume to take advantage of that relaxation. It may improve pH balance, but if chronic stress keeps your vessels constricted through elevated cortisol, the benefits remain limited. It may support better circulation, but if poor sleep prevents the nightly repair processes that maintain vessel health, improvements plateau quickly. A troubling pattern I observe involves men who experience modest initial improvements with baking soda alone, then become frustrated when progress stalls after several weeks. They often increase their dose or frequency, seeking to extract more benefits from the single intervention they're willing to implement, rather than addressing the other factors limiting their circulation potential. The physical consequences of this single solution approach manifest as partial improvements that plateau well below optimal levels. Men may notice slight energy increases or minor circulation improvements, but they never achieve the dramatic vitality and intimacy restoration they're seeking because they're only addressing one piece of a complex puzzle. Emotionally, this creates a particularly frustrating experience because these men are doing everything correctly with their baking soda protocol, yet feeling disappointed with limited results. They may conclude that their circulation problems are too severe for natural interventions when they've simply hit the ceiling of what any single approach can achieve. The solution requires embracing baking soda as one powerful tool within a comprehensive circulation support strategy. Combine your baking soda protocol with adequate daily water intake, regular walking or movement, stress reduction practices, and circulation supporting foods rich in nitrates and antioxidants. This holistic approach creates synergistic effects where each intervention amplifies the others, producing results far beyond what any single practice could achieve alone. You now possess the knowledge to avoid these critical mistakes and harness baking soda's full potential for circulation and vitality improvement. The choice to implement this wisdom carefully, systematically, and as part of a comprehensive approach to your health represents more than a simple protocol change. It represents a commitment to reclaiming the energy, circulation, and intimate connection that remain entirely possible at any age when you give your body the support it needs to thrive.